This is spoken to men. Isn't there an itch in every guy to want to know how to be fully a man? Isn't there a desire within every woman to see the men around them be fully men? For the body of Christ to be as it ought to be, we need men of steel. Men that are strong when they need to be strong and soft when they need to be soft. Because it doesn't mean that a man is not supposed to be soft. The problem is that men are soft when they're supposed to be strong. And men are strong at the very point when they should be sensitive. We have it backwards. There's a need, a compelling force within me to say, let's speak to the men. And when you speak to the men, do you know that the women actually gain greater security? It's like, we need men to be men. Please, men, be men. Because when a man is a man, then a woman can truly function as a woman. When men aren't men, then women have to be men. Because someone needs to be. Who's gonna be the man? When I say someone needs to be a man, that means that there is a necessity within life, within culture, within the occurrences of this world, for someone to stand up and to be the first to bear their chest against difficulty, against harm. You see, there is vulnerability all over this earth. We as Americans try and block it out. We don't want to see it. We want to act like it's not there. But there are children all over this earth that are being taken advantage of. There are women all over this earth that are being enslaved. We have greater degrees of problems and difficulty culturally in our world in general than we've ever had maybe throughout all of history. There are 27 million slaves today, human slaves. And that is more than in the days of William Wilberforce, and that's more than in all of Earth's history. 27 million. We have 148 million orphans in the world. The number is so utterly staggering. It's like monopoly money. We just start to fade over, just look at it and go, oh yeah, it's a big pile of $1,000 bills. It's not real money. Well, those numbers aren't real to us either. And so we have a tendency to distance ourselves from them. But someone must stand, because it's either these kids and these women that are taking the hit, or there's someone else in a culture that is supposed to stand in the way and take the hit for them. If some big meanie comes to the Ludy house and starts banging on the door, boom, 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 hey, I want in, and I want to hurt someone. Who's responsible in the Ludy home to stand up and bare his chest? But if I shove Leslie in front of me and I go run and hide in the basement, what kind of man am I? A man is the one that is supposed to take the hit. Honey, take the kids into the basement. Daddy's taking care of this. And Daddy may be shaking. He may not feel comfortable with this at all, but he knows what is right. And the man takes the hit. The man is the first sufferer. And that first sufferer cannot be the orphans and cannot be the women. It must be the men. We are the ones made of a different material. And that's what's needed in the Church of Jesus Christ today. It doesn't mean we don't need strong women. It's just that we desperately need strong men for women to be strong. Steel hammers are assigned a very unpleasant task. See that nail? You take your face and you beat it against that nail to get it into its proper place so that this structure holds together. We have an entire generation of men built as steel hammers, but who haven't ever learned their job description. And so we're stored in this nice ornate box by the bed, and it's this old lady, this frail old lady, that every night she opens the nice ornate box and grabs the steel hammer, which is us, and fluffs her pillow and sticks us very delicately back. And we're like, delicate, please don't drop me. And then she closes it, and we've done our job. And we feel very satisfied with it. What are you doing? Well, I work, I go out and provide for my family. I work at IBM, and I come back and get back in the ornate box and go to sleep. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? That's what a man does, provides for his family. And so, I invest in stocks and I have my various things that I do. And, I'm just taking care of my family. One day, a very strange thing happens. The elderly old lady's walking through the room and there's a nail that is protruding from the bed frame. Just sort of sticking out like that. Nails are dangerous. She doesn't see it. We pop our eye out of the box because, the old lady's coming. We're like, oh, here she comes. I'm going to be used as a pillow fluffer again. So we're anticipating our job. And then we see it. We behold her hose catching on the nail. And she goes, ah! And there is an instinct within us. There is something within us that feels that we need to rise up and do something, but we immediately put it down and we say, I'm just a pillow fluffer. But then here's the difference between that and every other time. Every other time we've seen the need or felt that cultivation of longing to do something more than fluff pillows. This time is different, because as we're peeking out of our little ornate box, a hammer, a steel hammer just like us, comes into the room out of nowhere and slams the nail back into the bed frame. And we behold it, and we see it, and it shakes us to the core because there's something right about it. We need to see it today. Not in a movie like Braveheart or Gladiator. And then you leave the movie and you're like, well, it's good stuff, man movie. We need Men of Steel in reality, not in movies. We need them here, now, on planet Earth. We need the return of the steel hammer. Men that know their job. Watch ye. Stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men. Be strong. Do you hear it? Rise up like a man. This is Paul talking to the body of Christ, not just to men. Rise up like a man. Because it isn't just to us men. I know I'm talking to men. But we are called as the body of Christ to be made for the toughest days, the toughest battles. Because it's not just the men that will die in the trenches for Jesus Christ. It's also the women. But we as men model it first. And that's why this is called Men of Steel. Because we must first show forth to the congregation of believers what it looks like so that they can follow.